All right, people, I'm back again. If you're a follower of Christ, you can relate to David's story with Absalom and Ahithophel and many other stories in the Bible. Because you'll see some of your enemies fall like flies. You understand? Take flies, for example. Their lifespan is not long. They don't live long. Disgusting creatures, but they serve their purpose. Just like snakes serve theirs. You understand? They serve their purpose. Your enemies serve their purpose. They serve the devil. The devil loses. We serve God. God wins. So they serve their purpose for the devil. They serve their purpose, but their purpose never triumphs against good. He said, I never seen my descendants suffering or begging for bread. You read Psalms and read the many prayers that David prayed during his times of trials and tribulations. I can tell you stories, people, but I don't really want to go there. I can tell you stories about some of my enemies that are no longer breathing. That's not what I wanted. But it's not what I want. All David prayed was bring his counsel down. Destroy his counsel. Or let what they conspire against me fall on themselves. Destroy my enemies don't necessarily mean kill them. But in the meantime, God's will be done, not mine. Like I said, some people convert. Some people don't. And there are things out this world worse than death. Let your enemies soak that in. There are things out here that are worse than death. You understand? If you read the Bible, you'll see so many things that happened to David's enemies. Saul threw himself on his own sword. Wow, you see a pattern here with your enemies. Like they destroyed themselves. Threw themselves on their own sword. Judas hung himself. You see a pattern with those. But when I say hang themselves, and that doesn't mean they're going to kill themselves. It's just their counsel. They're going to destroy themselves. They're going to destroy their own work. Because God is not going to let their work come into fruition. He's going to let it grow. It's going to fail. You see, God never loses. Some people thought Jesus' death was a loss. But his death was a win. So even you got to look at your own life. Even if your enemies kill you, it's going to bring something. It's going to bring something to fruition. You know, people don't look at the world from a different perspective. You know, there's a lot of people that were killed by serial killers or by this person or by that person. And then they stumble upon and kill the wrong person. They stumble up and kill the wrong person. Then they get caught. Then they got to spend the rest of their time in jail. And the death of that one person brought this person to jail. They thought they was going to get away with it. But they didn't. So even in death, vengeance will come. Even in death. Even in death. Take Stephen. You see, when I cover the Bible, I got to cover all of it. Whatever God's will is for your life, I'm sure it wasn't God's will for Stephen to die. But he was ready. He was looking up, being stoned, ready to die for the Lord. So I guess it was his time. But before his time, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. And that's what you want to do before your time. You want to do exactly what the Lord calls you to do. You want to die in obedience. You don't want to die in disobedience. Take all the people in the Bible that died in disobedience. Ooh, I feel for them. It's better to obey than sacrifice. Talked about this last week. You see, in this life, man, people are going to come against you in so many ways. Don't give up, though. Don't give up. I have a saying that I have. I don't give up. I give it to God. You see, as a Christian, you might take matters out of your own hands. That doesn't mean giving up. Let me pause and I will continue.